Welcome back to Games Revealed. I am James and also the Brink, and I am getting up and I don't know, moving around and whatnot. So, it took me I'm about a minute or two behind on getting on, but hey, anyone that's joining the live stream, welcome. Anyone that's joining afterwards, make sure to comment below any interesting things. I am going to start doing some more community engagement soon, so keep an eye on that. Including, I want to start answering people's questions more in some videos. So I've been thinking about that for a little bit. Yeah. So let's go ahead and start saying hi to everyone in chat. Then we'll go over some of the agenda. And looks like the prodigal son has returned from the desert. That Cat Smith for you. That's not about. Oh, how convenient. Only 20 minutes left until it starts. 16. I love how you counted down any second now. I'm sure I was a little late. Well, I was a little late, so I apologize there. Let's adjust this around a little bit. Welcome, Wolf. Always great to see you. Hope you're having a good day. Lumkey, hey. Lowjack, the prodigal son. No, no, I just always, after I've mentioned this multiple times, glad to see you. When you're not away, or when you're away, a little worried. Okay, Spencer Walker 21, what's up? Lumkey, I already said hi to you, but hi again. Chris Lee, welcome. So, with that, let's see here. Spencer Walker just ordered Uber Eats. Perfect time for chill stream about Steam Deck 2. Well, will this be about Steam Deck 2? We'll see. We shall see for sure. It is going to kind of be that. And this is going to be a very watchy stream today, meaning I'm going to be watching and reading a lot of stuff today. It's diving down into a couple of very interesting topics I'd like to do. So, take that into mind. You might want to make sure you have your... oh no, Susie didn't plug the headphones in. Hopefully the batteries are charged. She was playing some Dead Space last night, so expect that out to anyone who is a channel member. Okay, let's see here. Necrosphere, welcome. And Uber, eating is a good, perfect time to eat, right? Eat and you feast both your eyes, your mind, I guess, if I bring enough knowledge, and your stomach. Okay. Chris Lee, you have a question? Shoot for it. Make sure to @ me, especially if they're questions. Wolf is trying to steal money or points from the bot. Bad on Wolf. Okay. Cat Smith, for you, my TV volume is set to at 1. Still is a smidge loud for me. No need to adjust it for me, though. Okay. So, we're going to go over to, field trip mode, seeing stuff and all that. The agenda today is the Steam Machine, or Steam Deck 2, whatever you want to call it. Rumors abound. And Fan the Deck did something on this. Steam 20th anniversary. I want to kind of go over this very nostalgic and very awesome milestone in a lot of ways. And I'll explain everything as I go through it. They have a very cool little chart you can go through and see all Steam 20th anniversary stuff. Then we're going to get into Cyberpunk 2077, some of the devs warn about clearing out the dust in your fans on your GPU and CPU, I believe, and that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing to hear. And if you remind me to, I'll even relate that to Starfield, and Starfield has some stuff with that. Then we have damn it, Cas. It's not Cas. Give me 1 second. Quilter recommended a video. Also, the video, the Steam Deck 2 stuff is from Low and Wolf. They recommended it too. I was looking through news stuff too, but this is one I would have potentially missed. I didn't realize. And then and we're not going to watch the whole stream. It's a whole stream. You guys can watch it. I'll throw links out into chat and all that, so you guys can get the links. But yeah, then Coulter did I made Starfield in 48 hours YouTube, which is it's interesting. And then I want to talk about the Unity fees and all that. Like, that is probably the biggest deal to hit. I probably should start out with it first. I didn't even put it in the title. The Unity thing is probably the biggest thing to hit gaming in a very long time. Yes, it sounds like it's going to hit game devs, but it's going to hit everyone. And trust me, there's one developer that's potentially pulling the game. So you better get it installed before you can. Hopefully they don't. I think it's a little bit of a threat. I honestly think the Unity thing is going to blow over because I feel like a certain someone's going to get fired. There's just no way. Okay. And I think there's some, I will even justify the fee slightly. I don't think it's a really bad pricing model though. I'll justify in what they're trying to do, but it's the worst possible way about going about it. Okay. So Chris Lee, did you ask your question yet? Chris Lee, I can't make up my, should I buy the Lenovo Legion or go with the Ioneo Kun? Can you help me pick one what you think? Okay. Are you going to stick on for the whole stream, Chris Lee? If you don't mind, I will table that towards the end, and we will do an Ioneo, the Lenovo Legion Go versus the don't mind me, I'm a little spacey. I went and worked out in the even though it was a cooler day, I still worked out for outside up for a couple hours, and I'm a little dehydrated, so gotta get my water in. Okay, we'll look up specs. I'll tell you. Okay, cool, Chris Lee. We're gonna look at that towards the end of the stream. Anyone else has topics they want to cover? Of course, this is a Let's Chat. I should mention that more. Maybe have a sign up if you want to. I'm gonna have a place. I've said this for a year now. I'm gonna have a place for you guys to put things. To put like topics and stuff you want to talk about. So that's what this is all about. This has been my longest stream. Like, I've been doing this stream over a year. Okay. Europe, hello, welcome. Have you heard about the Unity Engine new developer charge per game installed? Yes, and we are going to be talking about that. It's going to be towards the end. Yeah, Unity, like, even if they revert, okay. Damn it, low key. You're gonna get me. Yes, trust is gone. Like, Unity is. Don't even think about it anymore. Like, with them, you cannot do. Even if they said, "Hey, April Fools," at this point, done. Damage done. Okay, but we're gonna get into it. Okay, Michael, welcome. Okay, and then I'm gonna have a recommendation area soon for podcast stuff too, and people that are. I haven't done it yet, but I need to figure this out because I have the Patreon, the YouTube membership stuff, and I have tons of bonus levels. If you guys have not been a member of either one, you guys could be a member for 1 month and consume a ton of the bonus levels that are pretty good actually from the podcast. But we'll save that for the end. I know I have to talk about it. I really like the podcast. I like talking to people. So let's get down to business. I've had that song stuck in my head. If you guys have watched me stream at all in the past week or two, Steam controller. Yeah, they're almost guaranteed working on Steam controller. So, Chad, welcome. Europe, I have a 3700X. Should I upgrade to the 5800X 3D or to an AM5? Have a 3082. Europe, that's a hard one. Maybe someone in chat could ask that one. Those upgrade paths are kind of interesting. I'll throw that at the end and hopefully I can get to that. Because that is a really hard one. I've been getting more and more into the AMD side of things. I've just been more Intel, AMD, or NVIDIA for a while. So, that Cat Smith for you. I am sorry if I missed your question. Have you heard the Apple announced regarding new products? Yes, we could cover that too. This might be a long episode, but let's do it. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't planning on cover Apple stuff. I know Mikhail did. I while I like covering Apple stuff, I would usually do that, I think, more at a different period, not during this stream. But at the same time, it'll be interesting. Honestly, I've been really busy trying to catch up with work, even though work's pretty laid back for the most part. I got a little behind due to some stuff I had to do. And so I'm catching back up, and then I'm going to catch back up on this. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and watch part of this stream. I'm going to skip around a little bit. I already know what, for the most part, goes on. Oh my gosh. They have assholes in the chat. Okay.
Out of my brain.
So if
that happened again, I'm sure if you've been in this channel, you've heard that spiel from me for a while, but opium will do to you. Opium will do that. Hey, so let me lower my mic volume a little bit. So
here.
Let me explain. I was gonna do a video.
Don't do it. Don't do it, LoJack.
I did record a video. Actually, I spent like 12 hours. A little bit more than that if you count like getting into a call with someone. But getting a PowerPoint and like notes together to make a video originally took like 12 hours. I haven't slept in a while.
Oh my gosh, I bet.
Brain drain. So, but something popped up.
The Valve Galileo.
And well, let's just go right into it. I always do this disclaimer.
So, I'm drinking a little bit of my soda to replenish liquid in my body. So, what's going on is that there's multiple SKUs, multiple certifications, and we're going to jump around this. And the reason it's so long, I should have like time marked a couple. But we're going to jump around this, and then we're going to do speculation before we move on to the next topic. The main point is that you have the video to watch. I'm not going to watch the whole thing. But there's certifications going on with some hardware that could hint at the next deck. Now, I think they do get a little bit of hopium kind of thing going on, like they've mentioned already.
Disclaimer. I am not a Valve spokesperson, obviously. I don't work for Valve. Yeah, everything fits together in my brain, everything I'm going to explain in this video.
Yep.
So we've known for a while, right, that Valve's next headset, it's going to have some standalone features. It's clearly going to have it's clearly going to be running Linux of some sort. That Linux is all over Steam, all over Deckard references, all over Steam VR, all over everything that Valve does with VR is around Linux, which makes sense because they built this platform that's now very successful. The Steam Deck is very successful, and they want to continue that with maybe not something as mainstream as the deck, but it doesn't need to be as mainstream. And yes, building the ecosystem, and I'm gonna go into an explanation of what I think is gonna happen with this, because it is very different. I think it's very different than the Index, for example.
Okay, Necrosphere, you triggered the happy James. Necrosphere at Brink. I haven't finished yet, but I'm enjoying the co-op podcast with Susie. I recommend you guys try Overcooked. All you can eat. It's absolutely a relationship ender or builder. I think someone mentioned another game too like that. Here's the thing. I have that game. I have Overcooked 1 and 2. I have played it a little bit, but I have been purposely waiting for a chance to like just play a good amount with me, my wife, potentially my kids, or my sisters who like to play games too. So that is what I'm definitely been keeping an eye out, and I love that you're listening to the co-op one. So,
or even the Vive, right? It's a very different thing for Valve to do in terms of VR, and I think it's going to confuse people. But we'll get into that later. So what started all of this is. So Phoronix Phoronix is great because Valve does so many things with Linux. They have tons of contractors working.
So I don't want to critique this guy's thing, and I do it sometimes too. You do not put this much text on a slideshow. You do funny, silly things for slideshows though. It's the only way to make him fun. So if you want, like, he goes through and just talks about like the evidence for his claims, which is better than what I do typically. I usually skim through articles, usually can start thinking about different things, but then again, I'm not also like a tech theory. I don't know if he does tech conspiracy theories, but like, and I do like his name. Sadly, it's a Bradley, but I'm assuming he's getting a little bit more conspiratorial with all this, kind of connecting the dots, kind of thing, going crazy. I don't know, but you'd be surprised. People really like tech people that know that like really do their homework. I do my homework when it comes down to hyperfixations. So my Steam Deck knowledge is very deep when it comes to certain things because I hyper focused on it. I don't hyper focus on the Steam Deck as much these days. I take in information as it comes in. I'm not as deep these days. It's partially just hyperfixations for me. That's just how it goes.
But at the same time, when Rasbo brought this to us, he thought it was a Steam controller too. He really thought it was a Steam controller too, and that didn't really fit with us. And at the same time, it's important to note that all the references to Galileo in this this sort of Aerith is like a side character.
So Steam Deck Jupiter, Van Gogh Aerith, Galileo, Van Gogh Sephiroth. Interesting.
In Final Fantasy VII, and the one on the right, Sephiroth, is the main antagonist. Final Fantasy VII.
Yes. Okay, we're gonna skip it. I want to get to some of these claims here. Van Gogh Aerith facts: designed for low power gaming, max 15 TDP, Zen 2 CPU. This is the Van Gogh is the current Steam Deck. Disabled computer vision acceleration blocks in silicon. Interesting. So the Van Gogh Sephiroth matches. Yeah. So it sounds like the Van. Why would they do old chip? I don't know if I like where this is going. So about chip ports. Sorry, I'm not trying. I'm not. Oh, hey, Mikkel, welcome. I did not see. Agreed, man. Aloha. Okay, how's it going? Well, have I been better dealing with the terrible twos with my? Oh my gosh, they don't. And the terrible. They come out and they're terrible. No, I'm just kidding. So it's gonna go. He goes over the different chipsets. Van Gogh plus incoming. A chip port would more easily fall under the radar for silicon industry leakers. I do really think it would be a big mistake to stick with the Van Gogh. It's such an old chipset. But he further proves why in like certain things the Deckard has been. If you see Deckard anywhere, that's a assumed headset. And it was almost a year, I think, that it's been that Deckard was going to be an assumed headset from Valve and Steam. It's now rumored to potentially be a console, if I'm not mistaken. He's going to go through all this. Like I said, you can go through all this. I should have had, at least he has bullet points. I know I critiqued him. I don't have my bullet points on this one. But see here. Mikkel, do you have anything to say about this? One problem, Valve reuses hardware systems. Oh yeah, they do like to reutilize hardware systems, that's for sure. I really don't think that the difference between the Van Gogh and the Little Phoenix is not a big difference when it comes to, in my opinion. And when I say this is that when you put SteamOS on the Little Phoenix, it works fine. When you put it on other chipsets that aren't the Van Gogh, which is what's in the Steam Deck, it works fine. So I'm sure they have the reasons. I'm sure it's probably down to one person limiting it. Wow, he gets really technical. Yeah, the Galileo is to draw commands onto a teeny screen. Okay, yep. I think we already knew that. Just give me a second. As we just Okay, I really hate to do this. I think we're going to go to the end. This is just thank yous. Okay. I apologize for rushing through this so quick. Okay, so you can get a shortened. You have my shortened version of this. It's essentially rumored that the Steam or the Deckard or the upcoming, and you'd have to look through all this evidence, and I'm not going to bore you with that, even though it is interesting. I gave you the link for it. So, what? Well, sorry, we don't need to move on. What is this Steam Deck or Steam Machine 2 nonsense about that I put into the title? And I guess we can check out chat if you guys have anything to say. Say it now, and I will respond. LoJack slowly cooking here in Texas. Yeah, LoJack, you guys, fall's around the corner. Hopefully you cool down and get some water soon. Okay, Lomke, if Valve is making a real console, they want to make it a cheap console, not a 4K system. No, but Von Go and the Little Phoenix are not 4K chipsets. Imagine if the Steam Deck 2 with 3 T-flop GPU, 1080 display, 60 hertz for the cheap price of $300. Yeah. Steam Deck 2 with 3 T-flops, GPU, 1080 displays. I know. I don't, Rachie, I don't think that's a good idea. I think Steam Deck 2 needs to outperform in every way possible the Steam Deck 1 in double digits. That's my opinion. It's not about the money. Don't get me wrong. Cheap's awesome. People want cheap when they say it. But when the pre-orders happen, when purchases happen for the Steam Deck, the number one to go out was the highest tiered Steam Deck. Now, I'm not saying people want, and people would spend more. People are already spending more on not the INEO, but the Ally alone indicates that people are willing to spend more. I'm not saying that Steam needs to spend more. I'm thinking if they hit a $499 price point with 512 gigabytes of SSD, that it's upgradable, not by different versions, but just with a options selector, and they use the next year's chipset in it, the Steam Deck 2 would be primo perfect. They need to be hitting 2K. I think 2K is and the reason I say 2K is because then it can upscale on a 4K TV. So if you want to dock it, docking mode's then enabled. The nice thing about, it's nice to target a 15 watt chipset. It's nice, but we want it turboed. So let's make sure those cores are you can turbo those well enough when you plug it in to dock it, and then you could, with the ROG Ally, reasonably you can run the Ally at the highest TDP without having to go without killing the battery within 10 minutes, but it's 30, 40, 50 minutes that you're going to kill that thing if you're running it at max TDP. Sometimes my sessions are 30 minutes, so it's not a big deal. But as a console player, if I can get 30, 40, maybe 50% more performance with that, of course I'm going to want that. So let's not, I think it's a little silly to ultimately design these chips too much around 15 watts. I know it's a portable device, but I know a lot of people that play their Steam Decks almost religiously on their TV because it's an inexpensive console for them. They don't have to buy a full PC, and they can play their PC games. So it's very difficult to say price points, but I think $499, people like the $399 because it's the cheapest one. Just making sure I'm not okay. Because we all like the idea of cheaper, but if it gives us $100 more, we get ourselves a better screen, and a better battery. Why not? Because it's not going to cost them much more, if anything, in a year for a better APU. Technology scales. As we get going further into the future, that chipset will be a little bit pricier than what the Galileo was when they first started doing the Steam Deck. And then it goes cheaper as time goes on. So that's just kind of how it works. Let's see here. Mikkel, I think I'm the same mindset as you, man. Yep, exactly. Maybe two. chipsets for the next Steam Deck, maybe 2 chipset for the next Steam Deck. I think that's a bad idea too. I think more SKUs is bad. If you see with the Ally, does the lower, I don't even know if they sell the lower chipset anymore. I think it's a bad idea. I think you can rate limit, you can, like in the sense of TDP limit, you can do a lot of different limiters and whatever it be to hit the niceties of performance and battery longevity. You can do a lot of different things with just one chipset. What I do think, though, 2 products or 1 product. If I was a designer or developer, and I like to overthink things, like I said, I don't even think a console makes sense per se. But they might have the taste, and honestly, that if the time is now to try it out for sure, so why not? But I think the 2 most viable products for Steam to do is to continue doing the Steam Deck and doing a Deckard VR project, not a console. But if they partner again with other companies like Alienware, Asus, and all these other companies, potentially partnering with them to bring out a console, that will then put SteamOS, just notch it that much further up. And if they partner with those companies to put them in stores, that's my point. Like, Valve does like to, and I doubt they will, they don't do partnerships very well when it comes to hardware. I think their last partnership with, what's their faces, with the VR headset, with their first VR, HTC went a little sour. But, Mikhail, massive toddler meltdown in progress. Good luck, man. We'll be waiting here for you. We need a report. Battery tech is a problem or make the handheld too heavy. Yeah, so I'm not too so if you want to talk about 2 different models of Steam Deck 2s, I'm willing to listen. A bigger battery model and a smaller battery, or make it removable, back panel included or something. There's a lot of different ways we can go to make certain people happy. I don't need to get into Steam Deck 2 speculation. I love doing that. But the Steam Machine 2 speculation is interesting. And it definitely, from all the news that we're looking at, it's going to be coming out in the next few weeks that we'll be getting probably an official announcement. That being said, it will be interesting to see how that actually goes. So let's say they have something that comes out in beginning of October. Seems a little late in the season to be announcing new tech for the end of this year to be released. So maybe they announce it on October 1st. We're going to announce that on November 1st. You're going to be able to reserve now and get your Steam console November 1st. We'll see. It's just so much speculation. And I know that they've been working on VR stuff, and maybe they're pivoting. They could be going an easier route with the Steam Machine. It's like, hey, it's not going to take as much to put a box around what we did with the Steam Deck and just beef up that Van Gogh a little bit more for the 4K, or not 4K gaming, but for gaming on your TV. I think it's a terrible idea. If they, I think it will sell fine because the Steam Deck has a reputation now. But Steam Machine that is underpowered, that's on your TV, that's going to be like the same power as last generation, not this current generation, is going to be a bad idea. Just personally, my opinion on that whole thing. What do you guys think in chat? Chat, let me know. What do you guys think? Do you think it's a good idea to have it more underpowered and potentially cheaper, or to have it be maybe not on the same power level as the PS5, but have it close to the same level as PS5? That's my opinion on the whole thing. I think if they use the current chipset for this, like the newest one that's out, the Little Phoenix or the Phoenix variant, I think it would be close. Because we know that T-flops can get pretty close. Add more power to that. It's not battery limited. You might be able to get a console out of that. You might be able to get pretty close to PlayStation, Xbox. Optimization-wise, no. But pure raw performance potentially. That's what I would go with. I would definitely not go too cheap. They might be thinking of Steam Deck, because if they do the same Steam Deck internals but without screen, controllers, all that stuff, they might be able to drop it to $200, and you could just buy that thing and stream and do another Steam. Steam Link, which is not a bad idea. I'll have one. I like it, but I don't use it. I like raw performance just in my hand. Like Steam Deck, I don't like streaming that much. I have to, partially because my computer goes to sleep after a little bit, and then I don't want to, still was trying to set it all up and get it working. So, yes. Is there something coming out the end of this year? 50-50. He did his work. If you watch this whole thing, sadly, it's Bradley, did do his research. Something is on the horizon, no doubt about that. Certifications are happening on the hardware, means that they're probably looking, and I think what will probably happen is maybe they'll go into a sell cycle of when the Steam Deck came out in March or February. I think February or March, the end of February, I believe. Maybe that's their release cycle. Maybe they're not going to hit Christmas time. They're going to hit February again. So people, okay, our release cycle that we understand is this. My personal opinion with the console, I think it's a cool idea. I would rather see them dedicate Steam Deck 2 with the little Phoenix and overclock ability with maybe an eGPU. Well, not an eGPU overclock ability, but overclocking eGPU going that route. I think that's the route that makes the most sense, that makes the least amount of e-waste, and it allows for upgrades in our hands. So, yeah, I mean, let me guys, let me know. I am curious, and I don't know. Maybe I need to reformat this. Oh my goodness, jeez, I missed a lot of your guys'. I had it on Top Chat. I don't know what Top Chat is so bizarre. Okay, same, but as Eureka, same, but as long as it's not over 1,000, it's not going to be over 1,000 ever. Valve, the only way they'll do a Steam Deck, they'll do like and they said they're not going to do that, but they're not saying they're not going to do stuff. Valve's mindset changes often. Steam Deck Pro, like let's say a Steam Deck 2 and Steam Deck 2 Pro, potentially could be $1,000. I highly doubt it, but I'm just saying, like, I don't see them. We're in the realm of optimizing games for lower end hardware and lower end hardware getting better. We're in this really like cool decade of PC development it's fun. Things have gotten smaller. APUs, like I said, the next decade, now it's less than a decade now, but when I first predicted it, is going to be handheld kind of revolution kind of thing, where we're going to be seeing more and more excitement around all this. So, Lumkey, Valve still waiting for 15 watts, 30% faster. Valve said, not sure they changed their minds on it, was a few months ago. Yeah, exactly. So, 30% faster for 14 watts for a Steam Deck 2. If it came out right now, maybe. And that's cool as long as the watt's not limited. If that TDP is limited to 15 watts and you can't go above that on that, then I think that's a bad idea. I think it needs to be that's the sweet spot, but you can pump more power into that if you have it plugged into the heat also comes in play here, but they could potentially figure out a better heating system. Yeah. I don't know. I think the Steam Deck 2 needs to be 50% more faster on the top end, on the TDP. The partner with console with company didn't go too well. Yeah, it didn't go too well, but you never know. Like, proof now is here. Steam Deck did really well. I could see some companies being like, oh, maybe. Raichi, there's a huge empty space on the back of the deck. Slap a big aluminum heatsink or put an upgrade module. Yes, kind of. I think they're even finding out that and warning, and hopefully no one from JSOC's watching because I want to get some more free stuff from them soon to review. JSOC's case, and this is more rumored, the way that it dispenses, like it has a new air vent, like back casing and all that, and with its air, blower thing to produce better airflow, which I don't like those types of things personally, has potentially fried a couple of decks. Partially because it's forcing the air away, potentially, from other components. That's what I've read. So that backing or whatever's going on there, I'd be very careful with some of those things. It's because it's trying to put as much focus on the APU and that fan, and the way it's designed is supposed to suck in and cool additional components. If it's not doing that, we're running into major issues. Okay, so slapping a heatsink on the back, upgrade module. I love the idea of an upgrade module with Steam Deck 2. Big aluminum heatsink. I mean, the Ioneo, or not, well, the Ioneos are doing pretty good with cooling, but the ROG Ally, proof is in the pudding. It cools really well, with the exception of the SD card slot. Lumkey, depends on how much watts they can put into that chip. It would have a battery cooling in a console. It would have better battery cooling in a console. Better cooling in a console. Yes. Yeah, no. Well, the Von Go will probably be 30, like you were saying earlier, but that's with like probably the Steam Deck 2. It probably would be 30% faster for like the Von Go is an old chipset. Just they can put more power into it, and that's about it. So, excuse me. So, yes. Raichi, 5 to 6 T-flops for 1080 or 900 upscale to 1440. Yeah, no, honestly, it's not bad. T-flops why? No, that's great. Honestly, when you're getting into that, 1440 might be for 5 to 6 T-flops. 1440 is fine depending on the game. Casmith for you. Thank you for stopping by. Have a good one. Lumkey, maybe why they're holding off Steam 3.5 due to that reason. There may be a software is not ready yet. It could be. I think it's a pretty big update, and they're just kind of hesitant to do big updates now. Okay, let's go on to the next topic, shall we? Steam 20th anniversary. I'm sad we play dispatch. Okay, whatever. So, Steam and I have been together for 20 years now, or whenever. Like, when it first came out, and you have to go to this place. This place is this is kind of a fun little timeline of what's LoJack. Someone needs their daily vitamin C. Oh my gosh, I ate an orange. And thank you for blessing me. Oh, you guys wrote a bunch before okay, Valve did say that they don't mess with the casing too much on the Steam Deck because the way the deck cools down. Yes. Well, Yuripa, this is the thing that people forget, and this is what I don't see. Like, I know they read this stuff, but a lot of people don't really say this. I get excited about new tech, but I will put warnings on stuff. I don't like back fan coolings. I've never liked it for Switch. For other devices that have come out, I don't like them. PlayStation's, all that. Typically, they can prove to work, air quotes, but what they don't show you is there's these consoles, everything. If you're getting a console, if you're getting a laptop, if you're getting any of that stuff, they have been calibrated and tested to work with a certain form factor and a certain way. You don't want to screw around with that too much. You just don't. Unless you want to get into, unless you really know what you're doing. With the Steam Deck, the way it is as long as you don't screw around with it too much, you can get an RMA in if something breaks. Once you kind of screw around with it too much, you're kind of shit out of luck. Lumkey, we need Steam walking canes with our names on it. Steam walking canes with our names on it? Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. If your account is so old that you start, I was some of the first. I don't know what. Like, I downloaded it as soon as I knew about it. So this year is 2003. MySpace launches. Oh God. Arnold Schwarzenegger becomes governor of California. Oh wow. I thought that was even sooner than that. Yeah, so it goes through the whole timeline, and it is just a delight to see how old you are, to see what happened when Steam was doing its things. And then, yes, we first announced Steam the previous year at 2002 Game Developers Conference, and at the launch, we primarily used it to more easily deliver Valve game updates. The ultimate goal, however, I'm pretty sure, once it was available to the public, I had it, and I had an account. In March 2004, Counter-Strike Condition Zero is the first game we launched on Steam. Unfortunately, was not a great game. It's like a 6 out of 10 kind of game. It did not do well. It was one of Valve's big blunders. I think they used a different. Who knows? They might have even gotten the modder to make it. I can't remember the development story behind that. And then Half-Life 2 has its big debut on November 16th. And yes, that's Half-Life 2 and Counter-Strike are the two games I played the shit out of. I played so much out on Steam. I know a lot of people didn't like it. I don't think I had much technical difficulties on Steam when it first came out. I can't remember, though. And then it goes through like the top games in 2004 on Steam. Surprise, surprise. Oh, let's see. Counter-Strike, Half-Life 2, Half-Life. And so when Half-Life 2 came out, it came out in a special bundle. I'm getting the Half-Life nerd out of me real quick. It came with a special bundle that also included Half-Life, Half-Life Source, and a bunch of various all their products, essentially. You could get it in their premium package, which I did buy. I had to. It was like $100 back then. But it came with so much. It was awesome. And then they go through, obviously, like stuff that's happening with Steam, cultures, all that. Like 2005 has some big pop culture moments. YouTube is born. Tom Cruise declares his love for Katie Holmes by jumping on Oprah's couch. And Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston's relationship goes the way of the year's most popular meme, which is to say, boom goes the dynamite. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Oh, no.
Hello, everyone. Well, the Ball State softball team continued to play this weekend.
Oh, no.
And they were hoping to continue off of their straight 3 out of 4 losses. And so we'll take a look and see how that happened. They started off good, but then eventually the Ball State women's team shut down and ended up doing poorly. Oh, no. And it's working. Okay. We're going to continue on now. And the Ladies Cardinals will play an Iowa tournament starting this Friday. It seems every week they have a player.
Oh, this poor guy.
Matt Lawrence is the latest Cardinals tennis player to win the award. Oh. Lamar won all of this. Reggie Miller's looking good. He shoots a 3, and it's good. Later, he gets the rebound, passes it to the man, shoots it, and boom goes the dynamite.
Sorry, we had to watch it. Okay, back onto this. And boom goes that poor kid. Souls of a games you don't play, Wolf. That's every time you. Okay, I'm looking through chat right now. Oh my gosh, you guys. No, your guys are good, having a good chat back and forth. Rachie, XCOM Enemy Unknown was my first game on my Steam library. What was the first game in your library, chat? Yes. Oh, Rachie, great question. What was chat? Everyone in chat, what was your first game on Steam? I already mentioned mine. I had the first game. I got Counter-Strike, Condition Zero or whatever. In fact, I'm pretty sure Counter-Strike Source was like it was demoed early on. I don't think it came out. I'm not going to get a speculation. I'd have to go look. But I was there from the beginning. I'm a Valve fanboy for sure, 100%. I'm not doing a Valve fanboy channel. Just too much good stuff out there that comes from everyone. Yeah, so we go in, like, I'm not going to go through every year, obviously, but you'll see that it grows more and more. 2005, you have a couple of more games that are probably built in the Source engine, I believe. Let's see here. Darwinia. I forgot. my gosh. It could have been Source. I think most games that were popping up on Steam, though, were Source-based or licensed titles. You'll see Sin, I know for sure, is a Source game. Dark Messiah is a Source game. You got, I'm pretty sure Red Orchestra is. Call of Duty 2 wasn't. But this is where you start to get into more of the games that are not Source specific. In 2006, that is. 2007, BioShock. Oh, such a good game. Like this is when we start to get into like really starting off PC gaming. Like really, it's like it's picking up. Don't get me wrong. Half-Life 90s was an amazing time for PC gaming, but we really picked off right towards the start of the 2010s. The heck. Okay, this is notifying me about the YouTube stuff for some reason. I think same Counter-Strike. Half-Life 2 here. Yes, Lone Key. True Blue Magic Dude. I don't know what my first game was on Steam. Is there a way to check? Probably. Okay, don't look at my Steam. Let's see here. If you want, you can go to, let's see, recent history. I thought there was like a way to sort. Got games. There might not be. You got to sort recent activity, but like you can see like, oh, Counter-Strike, the original. I had not played that in. It probably says I haven't. Oh, I'm in. Oh, okay, I'm also in Susie's account. Okay, back to this. Rachie, on the deck, I believe there is an option to sort games by date of purchase. Source Engine is still great. Source Engine 2 is great. I love it. Conceptually, I think they do a good job. They need to open it to the public and offer a good tooling, and I would use that over Unreal. My only option right now is Unreal or Godot, and I'm not using Godot. Not right now. It's too early on. Not for the type of stuff I'm building. Lumkey, looking at your Steam. That ended up not being my Steam. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodline Jedi Knight Bundle and Velvet Assassins in 2014. Ooh, purchase history. Nice. Vampire the Masquerade is a Source game, by the way. You did not know that. No, I know, like, I hyper-focused on Valve for a very long time. Okay. Mass Effect 2 is such a good game, and it came out in 2010. So good. How is this not at the top of here? Like, this is like the best game. It should be right there, destroying everything else. I'm not even kidding. Like, Mass Effect 2 probably is the better game of all these. And I'm a big Fallout New Vegas fan, like a huge Fallout New Vegas fan. Yeah, and you just continue. You get to see all. I love, and they'll do the little snippets right here. They'll talk about each thing. It's really nice and neat. So if you want to go see what like Steam's all about, what their little trademark pieces are for each year, what they released, like right here, 2015 also marks the launch of the Source 2 engine and Dota 2, and becomes the first game to use it that September when we ported into entirely over from the whole Source 2 thing going on with Valve. Oh yeah, Steam refunds arrives this year. Yeah, see, they even talk about a lot of the good features that they put in. But Dota 2 is kind of one of those things. I'm like, it's like, it's like hating the kid, like certain kids, because I just don't know. Because I like Half-Life, I like all these other Valve games. Dota 2, don't get me wrong, I like it. I don't play it nearly at all. I've played it a couple times, and I don't technically like it because it took so much of Valve's attention away from stuff I wanted them to release. So it made me upset. They're going to talk about the lab. 2016 is when they released their VR. Is also a big year in VR for us. We team up with HTC to release the HTC VR. Yeah, in April. Okay, cool. I bought that probably late 2016 when I could get one. Maybe 2017. And then we have Steam Direct. Oh, yeah, that's right. Proton is introduced as a compatibility layer for Windows games to run on Linux. That's when they started doing it. Nice. And I think, wow, they've been working on Proton for a while, haven't they? Then you got the Valve Index in 2019, and I picked that up too. Or no, I picked it up in 2020. Once again, when their devices launch, when Steam does stuff with hardware, it takes a long time. Okay. It's getting closer and closer. Look at this. Look at this. And speaking of Cold Lamb, it might not be on here anymore. Just understand that it might not be around much longer, depending on how Unity is. Counter-Strike 2 entered into beta and launches soon, and there are now more than 11,000 titles verified on the playable on the Steam Deck. Ooh, they had to throw the Steam Deck in there. A good 20 years, my guys. As far as this year's top releases, we have... I did not play Age of Wonders. That's really curious that that's up there. I'm sure it's not sorted. Baldur's Gate 3 would be the top. I mean, look at that user score. Almost 300,000 user reviews. This has 50 almost. I know that this has been out a month longer, but this is just destroying. Darkest Dungeon 2 is also good. I did not get that this year yet. But yeah, a lot of really good games. Really good games. I was a little worried at first for 2023, and then when it started and I started seeing the game lineups, we're eating so good. We're eating so well for this whole year. To just still Mikkel saying. Lumkey, Godot Deep 3D still got a bit to go. 2D or mixed 2D and 3D still good at it. Yeah, no, 2D, like if you're doing an indie style game that you would do in Unity, maybe Godot is an option. Raichi, people praise the thousands of potatoes in Starfield, yet they forget the thousands of barrels in 2007 Crisis. What was Crytek Engine? Crytek Engine was Crytek Engine, I believe. Wasn't it? It might have a different name to it, but they have their own engine. I don't think they used Unreal. I think it's their own. All Crytek stuff has their, yeah. Mikkel, we're eating good this year, y'all. Yep, there we go, Mikkel. Mikkel's still alive. Wolf, yes, my first game was CSGO. Or Source, sorry. Raichi, yeah, I confirmed the deck as an option to sort games by add to library. My first 4 games were XCOM, Fable, Anniversary, Civ 5, and Skyrim. Ooh. That's a good first set, though. Very good first set of games. Okay. So that is it for this news item. Wow, I'm going really slowly. We're going to get into Cyberpunk 2077. Dev warns PC gamers to check conditions of your cooling systems before trying to run the Phantom Liberty expansion, which is hilarious. Starfield, and a certain someone from Starfield that will be unnamed at this moment, mentioned, hey, if you're having a hard time playing Starfield, then you need to upgrade your device. Which, to be fair, it works on my 3090, but I have a 3090, so that could be an outlier in the sense of Starfield maxed out, plays really good on my 4K monitor and my 3090 PC. Yeah, so I can't really attest. It'd be nice to have some, it plays okay on the Ally plays fine. I would like to have a little bit better fidelity personally, but for the most part, I don't mind. I like playing my side missions and stuff on the ROG Ally. So it's kind of funny that Starfield, they said that they shouldn't even said anything, and then they proceed everyone craps on. People don't like hearing that, and I get it, but I don't think Starfield was that unoptimized. Even though there is code, if you have not heard, there is code that I believe was it a GPU or some certain type of specialty game devs that are GPU optimizations in the Delvic? No, that's something else. But it was in, I believe, the AMD drivers and all that stuff, potentially, which it might be Vulkan is what they're talking about, and now that I think about it, which is their main API. Instead of DirectX, Vulkan is kind of what I'm talking about. It's kind of the API that they build everything on. So, it's that's a whole other thing. It sounds like there might be a huge performance update for Starfield, but for Cyberpunk 2077, for number 2, the Cyberpunk 2.0, I hate it when they do this. Cyberpunk 2077 2.0 is coming out, I believe, in a week. Let's see here. Yeah, I believe, or maybe it's in 2 weeks. It might be on the 26th. So in like less than 2 weeks. The 2.0 is going to come out with a beefy upgrade. With that beefy upgrade could come performance upgrades and also visual improvements. I do know visual improvements are coming, but with that, not 100% sure if those performance improvements. I would assume they would be. Like, the game needs to be optimized, even still. So the real answer is, if the devs are saying check conditions of your cooling systems if you're trying to run Phantom Liberty expansion, is a little cause for concern, everyone. It indicates that if you're going to be playing, like, we use all what you have. So workload on a CPU 90% on 8 cores is expected to save your time. Please run Cinema. Okay, yeah. So they want you to they're going to, so it sounds like they're optimizing. So if you're on a desktop, they're going to offset performance, CPU, use more CPU, whatever it was. I can't remember if it was more CPU or GPU heavy, but they are going to be utilizing everything. So when it comes to the Steam Deck, I think they kind of already are. Whenever we run stuff, it seems things are pretty maxed out. So it doesn't sound like it's a performance issue. It's just in the sense of, and this is where we need to separate it. It's not you're going to get necessarily more performance because of an upgrade. They're going to make it so that it's more optimized to use more resources. There could have been problems where it wasn't used, like bottlenecking in some areas. There's a lot of things that can bottleneck it that aren't using all the resources that they could. Sounds like that is what they're doing here. So it's not that you'll need to upgrade your computer. It's just make sure that, it can run at max load for a long time. That's what you really should be doing. Ray tracing going to make that CPU work. Does ray tracing put a lot of strain on the CPU? I don't remember that. Raychi, undervolting will give better results than any cleaning. Yeah, it's not. It's the problem is what they want, Raychi, and that's not like a bad claim. I think it's just your computer's going to be working at a more max load than before. That's what I think it's probably more or less a joke, but it's like, if your computer's not used to running at max, then make sure your CPU and everything's like up to, cleaned up and everything. That's pretty much what I feel like they're saying. Yes, if you have not done so, make sure to like, subscribe, bash that bell with your crowbar. Please make sure to like this video. It helps the algorithm grow. Lumkey, I heard this mostly they use of your cores and then sitting around doing nothing. Yes, which is good. It's a good thing. It's just they're just making fun, I think, a little bit, and also maybe a little worried about some people's PCs. If you haven't seen some people's PCs, they can have some pretty big dust bunnies in there, potentially mutating. For Starfield, they're going to release a hotfix and then a patch to add DLSS and other things. I'm not surprised. They're probably going to they're probably going to take the mod and take the code from the mod and then pay that person, because I think actually the mod has a premium paywall. You can get it for free, but to get additional things, it's a paid wall. But yeah, the DLSS, who knows? Maybe they're buying it from them. Yeah, Starfield's going to get a lot of fixes and a lot of optimizations, but I'll probably be done with it by the time anything really serious comes out. Who knows? Improvements on my NVIDIA chip would be nice, but I'm not having too many issues with NVIDIA. Raichi, to be fair, minimum can do 1080 60 frames with selective settings. People forget the horrible days of minimum requirements that were 720p, 2430 of all minimums. On the Steam Deck? I've never gotten 60 frames on the Steam Deck at 1080. Well, it doesn't do 1080. I don't know what you're referring to. Raichi, Will developers ask us to repaste our CPU GPUs after each game release? No, Raichi. I think they're joking partially. I think this is a fun way for them, and people took it too serious, to say, hey, this is going to be using more of your cores. This is going to be utilizing more of your PC now. Make sure to get that thing cleaned up so that it's premium, does not like, it runs premium like with zero fires. That's all it really is. Yeah. Please check your condition of your cooling system. Maybe they had a bunch of computers that at the office that they haven't cleaned out in a while, and they caught on fire. I don't know, but I mean, they're smiling here, so let's look at some of these. X. X is the loneliest letter. Let's see here. Phantom Liberty, minimum 1080 30 expected. It's Core i7 6700 or Ryzen. I don't think we're going to have to worry about that too much. Interesting. I don't see. I was hoping. Let's see. I'm sure someone talks about the Steam Deck somewhere in here. The Steam Deck content creators are all over this typically, so it's always interesting. I'm thinking it's fairly similar min specs, recommended specs. That is interesting. So I think we're definitely going to be seeing a little bit of uptick, like a 2060. There's no way a Steam Deck's close to 2060, but it all depends on everything. 2060 Super, that is. Interesting. And then Ultra, of course, is a G. Oh, wow. 3080 is the Ultra. Wow, they really did do a good job optimizing that then. I was not able to max out. I don't remember if I had ray tracing on or not. I was not able to max out Cyberpunk 2077 on my 3090. If we get into ray tracing, 3080 Ti, so maybe closer to my 3090. Interesting. This is an interesting one. I'm not going to be able. What I'll probably do is do high with some ray tracing. I'll probably mix it up a little bit because ray tracing is pretty cool. Let's see what people got to say. GPU going to try to push your video card as hard as it's going to. Pretty sure I grew a gremlin in my old PC setup. Yeah, LoJack, plug your old PC set. Wow, that really whited me out. Plug in your old PC setup and turn that thing onto on Phantom Liberty and see how liberated your PC feels after that. It's not going to be a Phantom. It's going to be a Ghostfire. I don't know. Oh, hey, speaking of, I have Ghostfire stuff. I'm going to be changing it. It's shopundead.com right now, I think, or shopundead.com. But I'll probably be moving it over to the Brink merch, so because I need to not have things everywhere. It might blow up. LoJack, PC blowups aren't that big. Raichi, I was referring to the minimum requirements listed for Starfield. Many call it run bad, but people are trying to run the game at all native 1440 60. I mean, I run mine at 4K. I'm probably getting around 60. I haven't been paying attention. It runs smooth, though. I have a 144 hertz 4K monitor, and I've had zero issues. It feels smooth as can be with my 3090. If we look at, like, I don't know. Lomkey, I can run Ultra on Linux desktop with Cyberpunk with no FPS with no FPS at the moment Are you saying at the I mean no FSR? Okay, Loki, you got me there. With no FPS, like that thing's not running. I thought you were going for a joke there. That was hilarious. Just stuck with the joke, Lomkey. Okay, so what this is telling me is it's going to be a little more strenuous on the Steam Deck. I think it's still going to run it. I think it's been getting upgraded more and more to run on, like the Steam Deck is getting, it's just running better on the Steam Deck. The Ally is going to just destroy it. Probably. That's the one game I need to see if I haven't downloaded on the Ally yet, but I really hate to say it. I really do think the Ally is going to smoke it with this new update. Partially just because it has that little bit of oomph on the GPU side with the APU. When I say smoke, it's going to be like a 30% increase. Like, it's not going to be like, it's in handheld arena of things. When it's like you're pitting two beasts together, it's smoking it when it's like a low margin increase. So yeah. Eureka, no FPS. That's how Cyberpunk ran on the GTX 1080 at release. Did it? Man, but when Cyberpunk released, 1080 was still old back then. So, to be fair, I don't want to be elitist, but if you had even a 1080 back when Cyberpunk first came out, you probably should have been upgrading it. Try not to be elitist, but I'm like, you should be upgrading your hardware every like 5-6 years. If not, upgrade it every 2 years and sell your old stuff and just kind of upgrade into it instead of losing all the value. It's an easy way to kind of like get upgrades for a little less during that period. Okay. Excuse me. I was meaning to play this while I talked about Cyberpunk, so I screwed up there. Who here is going to be playing Cyberpunk 2077? I'm curious. I obviously will be. I'm just as okay. I don't know if I should say I'm just as excited for Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty as I was for Starfield. But I'm actually really excited. I really like Cyberpunk, actually. I like the Cyberpunk genre a lot. I think that this is going to bring a whole new... The guns look so similar to Starfield's. It's so hard. When you get into like sci-fi guns, it's hard. But I do like the sword. There's a couple things about Cyberpunk you just cannot beat. I actually really do like their upgrade system. I do wish they would like the RPG system. I wish they'd change it a little bit. But it's a fun game. And I will be streaming that on the Brink channel too. It's a more fun game to stream than Starfield is. Let's just say that. After this I should be streaming Starfield. So yeah, let's get through this. The Icarus. I was wanting to get an ROG Ally, but if there's a new Steam machine, I might go that direction. I probably would go with I would wait to see what new devices are coming out. The Legion is probably my go-to. Like, if you want a safe bet of an upgrade from the Ally, it potentially could be that. But with TDP limiters, there could be some on there. There's screens and other things that's going on with that device. I'm really curious to see how it goes. So, I actually did like some of the cars in that. I don't know. I think they're going to be upgrading they really want to emphasize cars in the new Phantom Liberty too, from my understanding. Yeah, vehicle combat and stuff. The real savage. Guess it's time to upgrade my CPU. Probably not it's not a bad time to upgrade right now. A new chipset will come out next year, but a new chipset comes out every year. Cyberpunk 2077 got reviews on PC. It was console where it was trash. PS5 was not bad. The current gen, like the next gen, if you want to call it that, even though it's not next gen, it's current gen. PS5 and Xbox Series X played it fine for the most part. It needed a next day patch or like the first week patch, and it was fine enough. It was PS4 and Xbox One where it just got. It had no reason to be released on those. What they should have done, and Hogwarts probably took note. They're like, maybe we shouldn't. He changed that title. Interesting. Maybe we shouldn't release on every version of every device until it's optimized, like PS4 or Switch isn't even out yet for Hogwarts. That's how it goes. Europa. I couldn't get a GPU at the time with all that shortage, but I got a 3080 when they were available. 3080s were so hard. In fact, that's what I wanted instead of a 3090 for my NZXT, but that's all I had was 3090s. And the 3090 was the same price as 3080 because they were so in demand. They're like, we have to upcharge. Well, I don't even know if they upcharged, but they like if I was to buy a 3080 on its own, I don't think NZXTs had 3080s. And that's how hard it was. I usually build, well, it's kind of true. I got the Corsair 1, which is an awesome little football. And then I got the NZXT. I wanted to build my next computer, but it was so hard during the shortages to get anything. Lumkey, Legion Go, $6.99 at the moment. Same as Ally. Let's see what happens. It's probably going to drop the Ally price by $50. I would be surprised. Like, just saying you're the cheaper of the two is a big win, oftentimes with certain demographics. That 8-inch screen has got me so excited. I need to set money aside. I have other things I have to take care of first, but I'm trying to set some money aside to buy that when it comes out. I need to finish doing my review and doing some Ally stuff. I've been playing it a bunch, but I need to wrap up Ally stuff, and then I'll probably, as I get a little bit further into things, sell the Ally to buy more tech. The Icarus, the Legion Go doesn't have VR though. That's where I'm kind of like deciding when I'm going to sell my my Ally. I think a lot of people say it's a no-go with the VR. I want to wait and see. I don't think so. I don't think that's a killer. There's other things that can be just as good. Well, there's other things that can make up for it potentially. I think people are being too preemptive on that VR stuff. Raichi, Starfield, explore the universe, stealing all the sandwiches available in the galaxy. Oh my gosh, yeah. Call me out, huh? Yuripa, I'd be playing it in the new DLC, but do the save transfer. Yuripa, for the 3080, paid $950 from EVGA when I was on the waiting list. Ooh. At least you were on the waiting list. Raichi, some forget how huge the 8.9 inch screen is on a 16:9 ratio. I am getting older. I am 53. No, I'm just kidding. I want everyone to be like, wow, he looks good for being 50, or airbrushes. But, airbrushes, I don't know what I'm talking about. So, I'm excited for it's an 8.8, I believe. Screen. I'm excited for it. As long as I can get it to, it's more bezel-less. Like, it's essentially a bezel-less. That's one of the things that really helps it. People don't realize it has a lot less bezel. So I should be able to fit it in my Tomahawk case. I'm hoping so, because I like my Tomahawk case and I wanted to fit it in there. So let's put the final thing on the Cyberpunk stuff. And see this. We're gonna get through some fun stuff here in a second. So, Coulter, I don't even know if Coulter's here. Coulter, if you're lurking, thank you for this. This will be interesting. So this is someone that made so gimmicky a title. Still impressive. Made Starfield in 48 hours. Somewhat impressive. This has got to be like 48 hours development time. And he probably used pre-made stuff. Oh, Raichi, the popcorn. Raichi's giving me a $1.49 to enjoy some. Ooh. I want some popcorn now. Thank you for the popcorn money. I think I'm going to go pop some popcorn when we're going between this stream and the Brink stream. Thanks for that, and thanks for making me think of popcorn. It's impressive.
I made Starfield in 48 hours.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I was like, Starfield? I was like, oh my, okay, I got, oh my gosh, come on, don't do this to me. Scufffield.
I made Starfield in 48 hours, and here's how I did it.
Do the same for me.
Nah, actually, it was pretty easy because I didn't use a 20.
Oh my gosh, Zivy.
So before we get started, we need to nail all the parts that make up Starfield. Planets, weapons, space.
What was he
travel,
using? I
AI,
wasn't paying attention.
Missions. These 5 things are what make up the game.
Is he even using
These
Unity?
5 things are pretty common.
No, this is Unreal, isn't it? Unity did something that made it look more like Unreal. That's Unreal. Unreal? Or is that? No, that's Unity. Damn it. Whatever. Continue.
The planet, but they're pretty core to Starfield, so we'll try to focus on these. So let's talk about planets.
The reason I'm confused about it being Unreal is that they've changed it a lot over the past 2 years.
3D planets can either be extremely complicated or ultra smooth brain, depending on how you treat them. In Starfield, they're pretty smooth brain. I mean, it's literally a simple landscape with a one direction of gravity contained in a little box.
Oh my gosh. Okay, put the flamethrower down, man. We don't need to freaking murder them anymore.
So for me to replicate this, I would just have to make a landscape and put a box around it. A very smooth brain. But if we want to go balls...
Is that Unity? He owns Unity for installing it on his PC. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, if this is Unity, he's already can't release it. It's going to cost him too much to even have someone demo it.
So the wall makes some NASA level shit. We need to go big. I mean real big. We need to create a planet that has a radius of 637 million centimeters. Why centimeters? Because somebody at Unreal headquarters thought it was a good idea. I don't know. I mean, to be honest, it does feel cooler when I say the Earth is 22 trillion units away. Now for the normally you need a 2D height map to generate terrain. Black is low and white is high. And usually this works fine.
There's so many different ways to do that.
To be, I don't know, on the bottom of the world, shit gets really complex fast. So we need a plugin to handle that. Would you think I was gonna reinvent the trigonomic wheel and do everything from scratch? No, what the fuck? Fuck no. I'm dumb as a rock.
I do like this guy, actually. Yeah, okay, let's continue.
Speaking of surface, you like those
we don't,
segues? We need
once again, we don't need to watch the whole thing.
On the surface of the planet, but still allow them to walk around freely. This can go a long way and your roots can get pretty big. And if you make one change to the top, it trickles down and affects everything in the root chain root, the thing. I don't fucking know. Pretty cool stuff. And this is how
it cascades from the with children and parents.
Because it's very easy to manage, and usually you can just change all these attributes based off a spreadsheet. Some real fucking nerd shit going on.
Oh boy.
Colonel Sanders, chicken.
He does get a little nam and random.
Secure all animals in the zoo. Give me that, you petty excuse for an officer. Now hear this. Ludicrous speed. Sir, hadn't you better buckle up? Now buckle this. Ludicrous speed. Go!
Oh my
By
gosh.
smashing zeros on my keyboard until I got to the other side of the solar system. And I mean, it definitely works. I mean, I'm
Oh,
shocked
interesting.
it works, but it definitely works.
Interesting.
Fuck you, NASA. I mean, wait, no, hold on. I need an internship, a job, please. You know what? To them, get your goofy odd choices. Trek out to a mission across the milk.
That's even slight. Like, don't make the boxes clear. That's bad UX. But you can make them slightly opaque if you want. But like, he had them a little too clear. But it's he's onto something. If he spent a couple weeks on this, he could probably have a better UX than them. Raichi, my Starfield just froze on me for the first time. Ooh, that's rough. Raichi, yes, Spaceball reference is just greatness. It 100% is greatness. I love seeing these Spaceballs reference. Okay, so I think this is cool. The idea is he probably took some assets from a store. He probably talks about that. We're not going to finish it because we're running out of time. I want to answer some of your other guys' stuff, and I want to get to the next thing. But yes. It's... I made... Is that... Okay, I'm like, is it broken? I made Starfield in 48 hours. I made a Starfield, a portion of Starfield in 40 hours, I think is more appropriate. Excuse me. I think he hits all the main points for the most part. But Starfield is gigantic, so there's that. True Blue Magic Dude. All right, first game I played on Steam was Marvel Heroes Online. First game I bought on Steam was Devil May Cry. Oh my gosh, she finally got to it. Devil May Cry for $374. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious, dude. That's awesome, man. True Blue Magic Dude, congrats. Okay, let's see here. We got ourselves. Unity rushes to clarify price increase plan as game developers fume. Unity, the tech company behind one of the most popular engines for creating video games, is scrambling to clarify how a price increase for its services will work. After its announcement Tuesday morning, broadly infuriated the game development community. It's not good. Why it matters, the fees, which Unity said are essential for funding development of its tech, left many game makers wondering if having a hit game through Unity would cost them more money than they could make. Developers spoke throughout the day of delaying their game to switch to rival Epic Games' Unreal Engine or other services on X, the platform formerly known as... Oh my god. Okay, you can stop shutting up about that and just call it Twitter if you want, because people know. But by evening, Unity exec Mark Witten was updating Axios on the policies. Okay, cool. Axios got updated. The new runtime fee announced Tuesday morning is tied to players' installations of a game, an action that previously didn't cost developers anything. With Unity's new plan, developers who use Unity's free tier of development service would owe Unity 20 cents per installation, which is ridiculous. Like, ridiculous. It's not even funny how bad that is. Installation once their game hit a threshold of 200,000 downloads and earns 200,000 revenue. That's nice and all, and because this is the thing that people are missing out, and this is why I say like there's a little bit more to it. After that, 20 cents is ridiculous. If you're a AAA studio, this will probably not hurt you too much. Potentially, but it's also really hard to gauge per installation. How many times, so if someone buys the game, are they going to install it 10 times from owning it? You got to remember, there's already costs on storage, transfer fees, and all that. It's not free. Like, people don't realize there's a logistics side to downloading a game from Steam, from all these other places. It costs money. It's not like you buy it once, download it once, and that's all the cost that goes into it for the developers and for Steam. But, yeah. That's, I mean, 200,000 downloads does take a little bit to get to it. I don't think indie developers are going to be like that, though. And I wouldn't either. I want flat fees. I don't like the idea of, oh, someone's just spam installing this because they hate this game. I can see that happening, and they'll have to put some measures in for that. But just imagine someone puts in, and some people are going to get a little mad about this, so just ignore what I'm going to say if this is going to make you upset. Imagine if someone puts a pronoun selector in to a game. People get mad. They're like, you know what? We're going to retaliate. We're just going to download and install, uninstall and install, uninstall and install, uninstall. That sounds so weird in my brain. Uninstall and install, install. No, oh my God. Okay, well, rewind back. Install, uninstall, install, uninstall. My brain is broken today. I have been programming way too long for a feature that doesn't, like, okay, we don't need to use that. But just imagine, it's going to be the new active. Like, if you're on Unity, people are going to be like, yeah, I have a script that uninstalls and installs this game. And so, screw you. Good luck. I spent $20 on this. You're going to be racking up $50 in fees. They'll have to have limits, almost guaranteed, but still, jeez. It's ridiculous. Developers paying over $2,000 a year for a Unity Pro plan would have to hit higher thresholds and would be charged with lower fees. Yeah. The new fee system will begin in the start of 2024. Cult of the Lamb developers have announced that they're deleting the game starting in 2024. I think it's an empty threat, but we'll see what happens. I just don't know what that means. Does it mean that you can't buy it anymore? There's no way they can cut out downloading it, though, like from Steam, let's say. So I don't know. It's not good. It's a little too early to go down that hard, but if I'm a developer, and this is another reason I started seeing Unity's doing certain things years ago. I've been on Unreal, and I want something like Source or Godot. My dream would be to have Godot and Source be as good as Unreal and have a good store for me to like asset store to test stuff out. Because I don't necessarily I think Unreal's the best engine out there if you want to be a generalist and game engine, my opinion. But are they going to do this someday? I don't think so. I think they make too much money and they have a good pricing plan already. I think their pricing plan's fair. I think some people complain a little bit about it, but I'm like, even if it's 20% of my income going to the game engine, sure, whatever. The problem is the installation. It's not quantifiable. If you're a business, a game developer business, a game studio, how do you quantify how many people are going to, how many times are they going to download this in the sphere of them owning the game? It doesn't make sense. This is I've never seen pricing model this bad potentially ever. The reason I say that is, like I've been saying, you don't know how many times they're going to install it. What you want to do is maybe, oh, hey, for every game that is sold, we just ask 20 cents. They would still have an outrage, but it would be better. I don't get the route they're going. So, teach their own, I guess. But this is essentially going to destroy Unity in the long run. I think for indie game, I don't think indie people are going to touch this. I think some will. They'll ignore it. But let's say if it's a freemium game, done. If it's a game that makes some money from ads or is just free, let's say Flappy Birds. Potentially with how many downloads it had, maybe the ad revenue could have made up for it. Maybe, but it might have ended up costing them money. And this goes retroactively on the 2024. So when a game's already been out for a while and you want to keep using Unity, you automatically in agreement with this. We'll see how it works, but if you have a free game and you have over millions of downloads on it and you're making so much, this might destroy you. They might be owing way more money than they can afford. It's a disaster. Okay, Coulter, hey. We watched your video, Coulter. Devil May Cry, did you finish it? I finished the original 3. I have not gotten into the remaster, or no, The original 3. I don't think I beat 4. If there's a 5, I can't remember if there's a 5. 4 or 5, I haven't beat. If that's 5. Then there's also like a remake, like reboot, that is. I haven't finished that. Coulter, the problem I heard Rage installs an uninstaller to punish developers for social or other issues could happen. Oh, 100%. That's why you can't do these types of models. Or if you do, you're going to have a blocking system for IP. Just going to have to. The True Blue Magic Dude, it's Unity. It's not even that great. Unity is a overall attractive platform. It's good to have it be in the sphere. I think too many indie people and too many people glom onto it because they think it has a really good community. And it had an asset store that was tied into it, which is nice for prototyping. But I've been off I built my first game ever for school project way back in the day in Unity. I liked it, but like getting started was not easy. Unreal, get a template. First person shooter template, get started. I can tweak it once I want to get to a certain point, but I don't want to it's not the first thing I want to make sure is that the shooting works well. I just want it to work well out of the box, and then if I want to, I can tweak it later. And you'd be surprised back in the day, like when you're learning programming and all that, dealing with just making an FPS like was ridiculous in Unity. So game developers rally on X, begin fuming immediately that any game enjoying a spike in installations due to a big sell, inclusion in charity bundles. Oh my God. It will, or even just by being included in a popular subscription service like Microsoft's Game Pass would trigger back-breaking Unity fees. Stop it! The development studio Intersloth makers of the hit Among Us. Oh my gosh, they're gonna be so screwed. They could easily port that over. I bet you in like 3 months they could port that game over to something else. This would harm not only us, but fellow game studios of all budgets and sizes. Another studio, Aggro Crab, called on Unity to reverse this plan, saying that it is feared that his next game, set for release to the 25 million subscribers on Game Pass, could incur fees that threaten the stability of our business. Oh my God. Yeah, there's got to be like some deals. Xbox is going to have to make deals with Unity. Or pass that on. There's no way that they couldn't pass that on to Xbox. Those devs better not be paying that. That'd be ridiculous. The intrigue. Unity has scrambled to clarify and in one key case alter what it said about its policies around the fees. Zoom in. After initially telling Axios earlier today that players installing a game, deleting it, and installing again would result in multiple fees, Unity's went and told Axios the company would actually only charge for an initial installation. We hoped this would allay fears of install bombing, where an angry user could. Yep. But an extra fee will be charged if a user installs a game on a second device, say a Steam Deck, after installing a game on a PC. Yep. F that. So you can depending on how they're doing it, unless they do the right hardware mapping, they could just fake it and still do it. It's going to be a potential major problem. Lumkeys seem their runtime going to be like malware and DRM, like how they find out who installs GOG games if they're DRM free. They won't be DRM anymore if you need to build it. So yeah, it's not going to be DRM. What it's going to be is just, it's going to be probably an online feature where during the installation process, the installer is going to require communication with the Unity server. That's it. It's probably what's going to happen. Doesn't mean that the game needs to be, every time the game runs, it needs it. But I think some of the fees that they're asking for is for analytics and for certain things too. Stupid, but there's context there. But it's a good point, Lomkey. Then if you don't have internet too, how are we going to be installed if the runtime needs that net? Yeah, it won't. You will have to install it with the. They're assuming that most people that download it right away will install it. I actually semi-agree. I don't think that's going to be as big of a deal. Personally, I don't like it, but I'm just saying, I think most people aren't going to run into that people like the idea that they have unlimited freedom with their stuff, and I agree with that. But if there's a legitimate reason, which I don't think there's a legitimate reason, then why not? Cool, sir. This will also discourage game updates and patches. Those are also installs. Would they count those as installs? Because the way patching works, sometimes companies don't do it right. They just reinstall all the assets. There's ways to improve updates. True Blue Magic Dude, better buy Power Rangers Battle for the Grid while you can. Hasbro ain't going to put up with this. That's true. Eureka, if this pass, there will be a lot of delisting cancels and delays on a lot of games, and this has a lot of, trust me, bro, on the calculations of the chart. No, this is this is gonna destroy Unity in the long run. I think who is the Unity CEO? John. Yeah, so John. Let's see here. I think he was a CEO somewhere. Where was he before Unity? Maybe I'm thinking of someone else. Okay. He was over at EA, and if he was COO, he was in charge of operations, which is even worse. Yeah, this guy's sounds like he essentially destroyed. He was in the quintessential parts of destroying EA, and then shipped over to Unity, which is no problem, Wolf. Glad you just got back home. Quilter also means there's spyware that monitors your installation. It's not spyware. It's spyware is that it doesn't, like, you don't know it like it's there. In this case, you know, if you're getting an eating game, it's there. I'm more lax with this type of stuff. Like, that's not the part that bothers me nearly, because honestly, getting good analytics on, he's a virus. I think John, to be fair, True Blue Magic Dude, calling him a virus, legit. I think having online access and having what they're kind of talking about, I wouldn't put that into the spyware virus kind of type of stuff. We see it with companies profit over. No, that's Lumkey. I'm going to get political twice this time. The first time I got a little political, but this is my second time getting political in this stream. Things are changing, people. Keep an eye out. Companies have to make they're not changing, but they're just getting to that threshold that breaking. Companies need to make a profit every year. If they're not making enough profit, they make short-term decisions. Like Pizza Hut essentially killed their growth and pretty much just destroyed everything by doing this 1 year, like 10 years ago. By seeking short-term benefits, but destroying them long-term. What is Unity going to do next year and the year after that to increase their profits? Especially now, their profits are going to tank. There's they'll probably succeed in, like, oh look, see, it's doing better for the next 2 years. But when no new game comes out on Unity, which I can almost guarantee you that half the games are not going to come out on Unity anymore, that we're going to come out on it. It sucks because it takes a lot of work to relearn a new engine. So it's going to be interesting. I think AAA titles won't go away from Unity because it's just the cost, it's not that big a deal for them. Middle, like me, I wouldn't touch Unity with on top of that, the big companies can contract with them. They probably will have contracts that will say, oh yeah, we won't charge you. But middle to or medium to small companies, this is going to destroy. Funny enough, that's just how it's going. Small businesses get destroyed in this world. Big companies just eat up everything else. So, Better buy Power Rangers. Thank you, Rachel. Yeah, we see a profit. I was here. Sorry. Triple Manager Dude, there was a Devil May Cry 5 made after the reboot. It was great. Yes, and it's on my list to play. I need to play 4 and 5. I played some of 4. I need to finish it. Great games for the deck, I'd assume. So, Lumkey, easy way to port to Switch with Unity. Unreal 4, only thing work on the Switch, not 5 until next gen. Does Unity or Unreal 5 not work on the Switch? Easy way to port to Switch with Unity. Easy way to port to Switch with Unity? Yeah, I don't quite understand the question, Lumkey, if you want to rephrase it. Back in the day, I made my first game on an Apple. Oh my gosh, Coulter. Coulter's a game developer. Wait, are you a game developer? Are you the one that built the Starfield in 48 hours? Eureka, this charge even works on pirated games. Yep, that's what I was hearing. Okay, well, let's be fair. To be fair, depends on how they crack it and all that. If the installation is, if the tracker's in the installer, if they crack the installer, they could probably remove it if they wanted. They probably would want to. Probably has some tracking software in it. Triple Magic Dude, so he's was the CEO was in charge for the EA Online Pass. He was COO. Unless I was mistaken. He was CEO of Wilson Sporting Goods, which is not a win, by the way. Sarah Lee, oh my God. Joined the video game company EA, initially serving as the president of COO. And COO is the true person that kind of does things. CEO is more visionary. COO is commander in chief. So he's not much better than CEO. He left the company to co-found and serve as partner with the Elevation Partner. And then, became CEO of Unity in late 2014. Wow. And then since then, it's been kind of declining the company, I think, in my opinion. He did that really garbage acquisition that hurt, I believe, freemium games and some other stuff. It's just like all over the place. Just not. Unity has not been in the news for anything good for a while, which is too bad. I really like a lot of the stuff Unity does. And if I work at Unity, if I was a developer there or whatever, I'd be livid. This guy's about to burn down, 15 years, 10 years of code of people's lives. For the Unity thing, they have a facts page. Someone who works Unity sold his stocks before they announced this too. I think it was him. Unity CEO, recent sell of 2,000 shares of coincided with a controversial decision to charge game developers every time their game. Yeah. Huh. Dude, they need to charge him. And why is there I'm going to buy I'm going to be 65, running my game studio, and people are going to be like, get off our porch. You're too old. But they need a younger dude running it. Okay. Being a little ageist here. For the new thing, they have a fact. Do they? Wait, where's the fact? Where's the fact at, Eureka? Cool, sir. It's spying on how many things you install a game on. It's not malware, nor is it viral. It only transmits information about you. That spying makes it spyware. Spyware usually is there without you knowing it. If people know that it's there, I don't really consider it spyware. I'm not a developer. I took computer lab in grade school way back in the 80s. That's where you learned about spyware. No, I'm just kidding. No, you're right, though. It's not. Spyware can be malware. Malware is just anything that's malicious. But spyware typically is associated with recording, even in a gray hat manner, your information. This would be considered just logistics. So, like, logistics is a thing. I don't know if I'd go as far as spyware. Lomkey, I mean, I think, not sure was easy to port with Switch with Unity. I think Switch may be Unreal 4 games. Unreal 5. I think Switch, Unity and Unreal's fine on Switch for the most part. Subnautica is built in Unity and runs fine on the Switch for the most part. Unreal 5 may be a little too much for the Switch. I have not seen it any yet. I bet you they're going to do some optimizations for Unreal 5 to porting over to Switch, but there's got to be ways. I'm going to load it up. I'm curious now. Okay, yeah, we've beat this topic down. But yeah, I'm not happy about this. This is really bad. And I just, any future projects, which already weren't going to be in this, are going to be we're already going to be an Unreal Engine, are going to be not going to be in Unity anymore. And it's going to be crazy to see the scramble that comes from this. So let's see here. So we have Android, HoloLens, which is an interesting one, iOS, Linux ARM64. Ooh, that's an interesting one. I can't remember what big. Yeah, okay. So the allowed SDKs for CentOS. That's an interesting one. Windows, I believe, is going to be doing 10s and 11s. It allows for both those SDKs. As far as... Sorry, I'm kind of doing some real-time sleuthing, I guess. As far as building for the Switch... I mean, I could look it up, but why not go to the source? Supported platforms. Yeah, I don't think Switch is supported. I don't think any of these would lie within the yeah. So probably not yet. I would be like, maybe it's going to be a Switch 2 thing. Who knows? I don't see Steam Deck on here. Technically, it should work for PlayStation 5 and all that. I don't see that on here either. Interesting. I have a feeling there's some hidden stuff that I'd have to dig deeper in to see that. Okay. Hey, hi. How's it going, man? You need to stop by more often. You're in trouble, young man. Lumkey, sucks for devs, sucks for gamers overall. No, this is bad. This is bad for gamers. Like, potentially, you're going to be seeing delistings, games deactivating. You're going to see a lot of things potentially happen within the next year. I think you're going to be safe if you've bought the game. I have a feeling that there's going to be a retro clause put in. That's going to have to be. I think there's going to be so many lawsuits. Because this is... You got to think about this. This is affecting probably every major company that doesn't have their own game engine. EA, Ubisoft, I think both have potential games that have it. Blizzard has games that use Unity, aka Hearthstone, and that's a massive one. You're going to probably see some major lawsuits if Unity doesn't do contracts with them. But you'll probably see them get contracts. You'll see probably small to medium companies pull together and sue them out of them. And I honestly think they might be, like, there's just such an anti-capitalistic thing. Well, maybe it's pro-capitalist. I don't know. I'm not going to go down that. But it's pretty damaging, this anti-small business. Lumkey, Unreal port of Linux never works right. We use Proton as it works better even if it has a Linux port. Really? I think I've tried it, porting it before, and it worked okay, but I wasn't using any fancy bells and whistles when I tried it. Europe, a lot of VR games use it to like VR chat. Yep. Yeah, VR is pretty good with Unity. Hi. Let's see. Hi's. That's all you got to say? No, you got to say more. Okay, so let's move on. Lenovo Legion Go versus the iNeoCon. Now, what is that one system I use? Give me 1 second. Let's get down to some business here. I just need to find some software real quick. Where are you? My brain. I won't be streaming on Twitch tonight, probably. I am going to be beat after this. Let's see here. Come on. I want to answer your question. Where are you? I'm so sorry, guys. I'm looking for some software to take notes on. And I thought I had it available to me, and I just lost it. Come on. Where are you? It's... Let's see here. It's not Excalibur. It's something else, though. Excalidraw. That's what it was. Okay. Here we go. Has no words, no. Quilter, it cannot be retroactive because the EUA and the TOS that developers agreed to at the time of development is that be aided by. You cannot change contract unless both parties agree. Yeah, Quilter, it does. So the way they do it, the way this is working, I think if they build anything else, so next year, if they run any builds, if they build out an installer, that's what I mean. So it retroactively is going to be a little hairy right now. We don't fully know how far, but looking into it, it is going to be affecting pre-existing games that have already come out. It's just, it might not affect them until they have to do an update, which maybe they'll never do an update. Maybe, I don't know. All I know is it's vague enough, it's scary enough, and it's off-putting enough that it's I think it's going to be devastating to Unity. It's just ridiculous. I just cannot believe what they did. Where's dark mode? Oops, wrong button. Come on. Dark mode. Okay. So, here's what we're going to do. Can I pop in? Hold up. I can't remember if I can put... Oh, I can. Cool. Okay. So, we got the RO... Why would you select all of them? Something's going on with my mouse or something. Okay. So, we got that. And I think I have the iNeoCon on here. Maybe. Potentially. Possibly. I'm going to throw it in here. I'm just going to throw out. So, what would you guys get? Which one would you rather have? The iNeoCon, or would you rather have the why is going on? There we go. Which one would you rather have? Would you rather have the Legion or the Kun. They're going to have similarly spec'd. So the same things that they have. 8.8 inch or 8-inch plus screens. More bezel-less on the Legion, but you know, let's zoom this thing in. I screwed up. So they're gonna have on like as a common piece the 8-point-inch screen or the 8-inch screen plus. Then they're gonna have the Phoenix. Oh, let's see. It's the 7840, isn't it? 7840 APU. I could look all this up, but 16 gigs of RAM base. But then we get into differences here. And I only want to throw this out just a little bit. This is going to be bare minimum $1,000. Bare minimum, all the way up to, I believe, around $1,400. And this is like early bird prices coming into all that. This right here is going to be one price. No, two prices. $699. We're going to see how well I remember things, and I don't have to do another dollar sign, but I did for some reason. $749 for the 1 terabyte version, I believe. So both of them, I believe, have a starting out of 512 gigabyte base. And the reason I'm putting this is that there's so many different variations of all this. This, though, has removable controllers. This does not, but it has 2 trackpads. I'm not going to go into everything. 2 trackpads. Those are probably some of the most notable pieces. I think the screens are going to be similar. Albeit this is a 16 by 9, a 10 ratio. So if you want something more like the Steam Deck, if you essentially want a pretend Steam Deck 2, you'd go with something like this. And I'll get to chat here in a second. If you want a pretend Steam Deck 2, I'd go with the Ionio Kun. As long as you don't want to have a pretend warranty. The support, warranty, all that other stuff. If it breaks, expect a month to ship it back, and maybe even longer to ship it back and get it back to you. And then 16 by... am I doing that right? 16 by 9, right? Ratio screen 16 by 10, which means that this is going to have more surface. They're both 2K monitors. This is going to have a bigger battery. This is going to have almost double. Okay, that's weird. Almost double the battery, which is a big deal. This, I'm really curious to see how and I do think the TDP is more limited. This is going to have major TDP, like I think 54 is what I saw, number. Major. Like this is going to be a powerhouse, but there's a diminishing return on power. Like it's not like, oh yeah, if I throw 100 TDP, that's going to be what? 100% more powerful, double the power. If let's say if another device could do 100 TDP, that doesn't equate to performance. That just more power potentially the chip could consume it. There is diminishing returns and maybe even detrimental of pushing too much power into the chip, heat, and all that. Yeah, support is just definitely a big minus to this thing. I will say, let's put a little bit. Let's see what chat's got to have to say. Okay, well, I don't need to do this all night. I have fun doing all this. Okay, let's see what you guys have to say. Lenovo, I was just going to... Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm happy now. By the way, did anyone see the Alien Body from Mexico live stream? I know it's a gaming thing. Lomkey, I did see that. And there's a lot of evidence to indicate that it was revealed like years ago and debunked. Once again, exciting, curious about some of it, but at the same time, I'm not 100% sure about it. Lenovo. Wolf would go with the Lenovo. I just want to ask hi that. Chris, that's my question I need help with. Lumkey, don't know with me. If I had to pick until reviews come out. That's a hard one, but if I don't think the iNeoCon is going to be a difficult one to get. But I don't think so. Potentially. Even though I do think they sold a lot initially. I think you're going to have a better chance of just getting the iNeoCon anytime. I think the Lenovo is going to be sold out probably for a month. We'll see. It depends on how well they sell it. What do you, Chris? What do you think has the best battery life? 100% iNeoCon. The reason why is because it has double the battery. I can't remember exactly what the it's like 80 milliamp or something like that. Which I believe the Steam Deck has like what, a 45. Something like, I don't remember the numbers for the life of me right now. This one has better battery life, tweaks to it. This could also potentially consume more battery life than the Legion. I believe the Legion's TDP is going to be locked on it. I don't know if it's hardware or software locked. So, but it comes down to, do you want the detachable controllers? Do you want to be able to do the extra functionality, mouse-like triggers? Do you want... Lenovo is going to have a better support network. They've been doing this logistically. They could get it replaced sooner, especially if it's going to be at Best Buy. This will not. Me, personally, out of the two, I'm buying the Legion right now. Like, I have a reservation for it. I'm going to get this. I want to get the Kun, but I cannot justify getting two devices at this point. I don't have the coffers for that. But I've had iNeo devices. They hold nice. They're nice. This has the potential of being a Steam Deck compatible device with the two-touch patch. But until I see it running, Legion, hands down. So Chris, to answer your question, I could put pros and cons. We've kind of already gone over that. I would choose the Legion, hands down right now. Once we learn more, and there's also some tech YouTubers that you could watch that will have a little bit more insight into using both of them. Once we learn more, once the Con is out and you get like people putting SteamOS onto it, and there's different variants of SteamOS that they put on it, that's where we're going to learn whether or not you're going to want the Con. But I think face value, everything that's being shown, I think the Lenovo is the better deal. That being said, I don't like the way the Lenovo looks. This one I do kind of like more, but it has some weird rounding issues. So that's my kind of answer on that. Lomkey, don't know with me if I had to pick. What do you think? Love Lenovo Windows XL tablet, so I'm partial to this one. Oh, that's good to know, Raichi. Satanic, welcome. The Icarus. The Legion is using the same APU as the Ally. All three of these are using technically the same APU as the Ally. Well, no, this one might not be using it. The way it's tweaked, it's a hard one to say. They're technically all basically the same APU. Hi. I don't know if it's been if you've been the backpedaling that Unity is trying to do on X, the social media platform formerly known as Twitter. Yes, I've already covered that. Go to site. What are you showing me? Hi. Are they backpedaling? Yeah, they're going to backpedal hard. Good to know. Thank you. Hi. We're going to do an addendum to that in the stream, and then we'll call it. 512 gigabytes is great, but just upgraded my deck with 1 terabyte. I'll be interested to see which one. Ioneos in the past have been sucky to upgrade, like really crappy. Like my Ioneo Air, opened it up, it was not easy, and this thing is packed full too. So we'll see. We'll see. I think this one was easy. I think Dave 2D took the back off, and it was right there. So a lot easier to replace the SD card, the NVMe. Hey, Wolf, do you want to do can you do a poll? Can we do a poll to see who picks what? Yeah, I'll do a poll also. Well, I already have a poll on YouTube. So on YouTube, let me look it up. Don't look at my secrets. Let's see. I need to do another poll soon. I think more stuff came out about it. Can you see some details on this? The Lenovo Go destroyed everything else. I was actually surprised. Second place, PlayStation Portable. A lot of you silent buggers out there, a part of the community, like that PlayStation Portable and don't want to admit it. The Kun came in at 11%. And I know a lot of people that want the Kun. I personally want the Kun to succeed. But the Go, the Legion Go, it's just more interesting, and having that brand attached to it is really good. So we could do a poll in the chat too if you want, but I'm showing you numbers what I got. Hey, Killuminati, welcome. I would lean towards the Lenovo. Yeah, I can see that. Spencer. The Legion has horrible after purchase support. Honestly, neither. I recommend the deck for like 95% of people who me included. Yeah, if you're have a deck already and you just want a little, like, because I already mentioned, I think most people, the deck works great. If you want extra oomph, the Ally works good too. Honestly, the Ally has been really good. I think people are going to be not liking my review of the Ally. It's not going to end up being like Steam Deck killer. I'm not going to go that route. Don't worry. But the Ally is really good. And even with the interface, with everything that's going on, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. If it's my secondary gaming device, it's fine. If it's your main gaming device, maybe. I don't know. Have an eGPU support, even though it is, you have to, it's, is this it right here? No, that's not it. Even though it's proprietary, it's still nice. The Steam Deck can't do that. The Steam Deck is super refined for what it's meant to do. Super limited in everything else. Personally, if you're going to be buying it just depends on what you want to play. It depends on experiences and all that. The Ally actually has the Armory. That's another thing, Legion. I don't know if Legion has a good system like the Armory. Armory's really been good so far. Way better than the Ioneo software. Chris Lee, sorry, I want to buy the A. Buy it, dude. Buy it. Go for it. I love it. If I had an extra $1,000 sitting around, along with extra $700, I'd buy both. I really like the Kun. Because of the lack of VR, I'm skipping the Lenovo. I could see that. I'm gonna buy it, and we'll find out firsthand how bad that VR issue is. Chris, thanks for helping me out. Yeah, no problem. I gave you they both are great. It really depends on what you want. You're gonna get with tweaking that TDP with the Ioneo Kun. You're gonna be getting pretty good battery life. You have to remember, though, bigger screen, all that other stuff. But if you run it at 15 TDP, you'll get a little bit better boost over the Steam Deck, and you'll probably get at least a 50% increase in battery. The Icarus, but I'm more interested in the Steam Machine too. If it's the console form, the Icarus, yeah, the Steam Machine 2. It will have probably if it's using the Van Gogh, I couldn't imagine them getting more than 30% increase in performance out of that thing. Even a bigger form factor with more cooling. And that, I don't know. Might be interesting. For me, it's not. I wouldn't buy. I'll honestly, if it's a Steam thing, I'll try to get it, of course. But yeah. The Icarus. I'm shocked the 1X Fly did so poorly. 1X player is not. Am I saying that right? But yeah, 1X Fly, that company. I don't think they're doing great at all. I just don't think they. I don't know. I think marketing or something's going on weird with them. Spencer Walker, games revealed. I don't get why other handheld makers didn't do a static refresh rate switching like the deck. 40 hertz, 60 hertz, 90 hertz of anything between on the Legion would be great. Yeah, I'm curious because they did have it and then they deleted it. I'm curious to see what happens with the Legion. Really curious to see what happens with the Legion and all that. There's potential there. Lomkey Legion does have software from the video people who have their hands on it. It's still buggy. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen a little bit of it, but yeah, until I have it in my hands and it's released, I'm not going to fully trust everything. Even though I do trust a lot of those tech YouTubers. I still I've heard a lot of bad stuff about other, people liked Neo software. I've heard people like it. I don't like it. I think it's garbage. Raichi, with any of those handhelds, you need to not invest 100 to 200 in accessories, power bank, dock, case, and micro SD. Can we do a poll on here? Yeah. Hey, Wolf, let me try to do a poll then. I'm sorry. I just don't have have it fully set up to do a poll. And I am losing wins in my cell, I guess, whatever. I don't even know if that's a saying. I'm sure it's a saying. Let's see here. Oh, can I run show your support for? Wait, what does that do? Did I just start an ad? Okay, no, I didn't. Wait. Oh, I can show support for my own. Start a poll. Okay, let's see here. Which would you buy? The Legion Go or the Neo Gun? Start poll. For me, I've really liked the Neo Gun quite a bit. I think I would choose the Go. It's not even going to let me in the chat. Yeah, so that started. Please answer if you can. I'm going to read into some more of what people are saying. Illuminati, I don't know either. Oh, that's fine, man. They're both beefy handhelds that are performing the bigger screen, bigger device, and more performant than a Steam Deck. Is I think a good way to put it. Chris, I do wish it was cheaper, but it's got a lot more packed into it, like in the sense of like it's got two trackpads. Now, depending on how they use that, we'll see. I'm really curious. That is a problem. Bigger battery, that costs more. And you can get like 32 gigabytes. I'd get the 32 gigabyte one personally. Beyond that though, yeah, they're very similar. They got to make it like that's a killer. Like it has everything. Oh, it's also the Kun on the back has an LTE, probably 5G module. It could be 4G module on the back though that you can buy and insert. Some of them probably come with it. That's a big one. So you could play online anywhere you wanted with that. I did forget to LTE module slot interwebs anywhere. Technically. I don't know how, well you can just try to zoom in. Okay, so we got 8 votes in. Anyone else want to vote? Oh my gosh. Okay, the con has it at 25%, which is pretty good. That's good to hear. Neither of them are out yet, so we can't really say they have good battery life. But legitimately, they're not gonna. Neither of them are gonna have like amazing battery life. The Legion, hands down, is gonna have worse battery life than the gun. Like I said, the Legion has a similar battery life of the Ally, or battery size as the Ally, and it's got a bigger screen to power. So we'll see how they do the optimizations there. The Kun has a bigger screen than the Ally, similar spec to everywhere else, but twice the battery size almost. So take that with whatever you need to. It's going to make it a lot heavier. But if you tweak settings and everything for that screen size, you're going to get decent battery life compared to the Legion. So if battery life's a really big deal, then this might be the one for you. I would have made the poll, but you didn't answer me. Well, oh, sorry, Wolf. I must have missed what you were saying. Are you going to keep the Ally, Brink? Wolf, I am going to keep the Ally for now. I was thinking about returning it, but I'm actually liking it quite a bit. I'm gonna keep it and either sell it for, like, let's say the Steam Machine comes out and I already bought the Legion. I don't know. Funds are going to have to be required to commandeer additional devices. I'm trying to read over here. Like, are we done? Everyone done voting? Let's end this poll in 3, 2, 1. Ending poll now. Thank you guys for voting. And with that, you will see we have the Legion Go at 66% and the Aya Neocon at 33%. Not surprised. That's the thing. I put them as interesting on like a 50-50 interest scale for me. Scale, percentage, whatever you want to call it. The Legion, though, is definitely the one that it's going to be more mainstream. It's going to be easier for me to cover. It's cheaper for me to cover. I'm going to go the Legion Go route. If I was better at networking with these companies, I might be able to get it, and not like, they don't give a lot of these devices out, either one. But maybe I could get, like an Aya Neocon, but I'm not. And I will try to get one when I can to test. But that's what's going to happen. Okay, I can look at this over here now. Sorry, Wolf, I kind of jumped the gun on that poll. Coulter can't answer. There's no third option of none of the above. I know. I think the point is, Coulter, is that we want to just get a gauge for Chris. Lumke can't make up my mind. So I leave as is. No, you're good, man. Chris, I have one more question. Go for it, Chris. And then I gotta go. True Blue Magic Dude, it's going to need a bigger battery though, because it won't be charging the controllers. Well, not technically. It's going to be like the Switch, where the controllers are going to be like little trickle charged. As long as you're not using them a lot, they'll be charged up too. When you charge the device, the controllers are going to charge. So, I don't think it's going to be too bad. Making me pick is like where you like to go. Hello Kitty house or Barbie Dream House? Damn it, Barbie Dream House. I don't know. Okay, so let's look at the Unity stuff. We want to acknowledge the confusion and frustration we heard after we announced our new runtime fee policy. We'd like to clarify some of our top questions and concerns. Who is impacted by this price increase? The price increase is very targeted. In fact, more than 90% of our customers will not be affected by this change. Customers, but I don't think they understand. They have a huge market. Customers will be impacted are generally those who have found a substantial scale in downloads and revenue and have reached both our install revenue threshold. This means a low or no fee for creators who have not found scale success yet, and modest one-time fees for those who have. Fee on new installs only. Once you meet the 2 installs and revenue threshold, you only pay the runtime fee on new installs after January 1st. It's not perpetual. You only pay once for an install and not ongoing perpetual license royalty like a revenue. It's still not good. They're just digging in. Okay, how we define and count installs, assuming the install and revenue threshold are met, we will only count new installs on any device starting January 1st, 2024. Additionally, developers are not responsible for paying a runtime fee. Reinstall charges we are not going to charge a fee for reinstalls. We'll see how they determine how they can. There's ways to map that, but we'll see how they do it. Fraudulent installs charges, we are not going to charge for a fee. Okay, once again, I want to see how they're going to do that. Trials, partial play demos, and automation installs. DevOps charges. Okay, we're not going to. Are they going to or not? We're not going to count these towards your. Oh, they didn't. Okay. Oh. It's just the way it's spaced. We're not going to count these towards your install count. Early access games are not considered demos. Web and streaming games, we are not going to count web and streaming games towards your install count either. Charity-related installs, the pricing changes, installs count will not be applied to your charity. How are they going to do this? This is the thing. This is so many exceptions, and I get what they're trying. They really don't want to back out of this. They really don't want to back out. It's already been hurt. Like this is already hurting them. I'm not saying that Unity's done forever, but they're going to continue backtracking. People aren't going to trust them. They already tried to pull this. People aren't going to trust it. Chris, if the INEO Kun goes up more money, I will be buying the okay. Chris, it will be going up. If you want, you can go check out their the page and see. Sorry, I'm gonna have to end this soon. I am tired. They have early bird pricing on Indiegogo, so it will be going up soon. Hi. Also, subscription services are on the hook for the runtime fee. Using Game Pass, Microsoft is on the hook for the fee. IMO. Yeah. So not surprised, but they can pass that fee on down if they want. Lomkey going to have to go to court to keep old contract agreements, then leave Unity. Well, the way the contracts probably work is that when you go to build something, or maybe when there could be multiple things that are going on, but I'm assuming when you go to build it and sign it is when the contract goes into effect, potentially. Or maybe when you first create it. That's fuzzy too. People are really quick to jump on this. That's why I don't jump on certain things as much, because people are like, this is the end of the world. And I still think it's really going to hurt Unity. I don't know how well they'll do after this, because they just can't be trusted. They jumped really quick into charging more and then say, oh yeah, they did say, oh no, every time it's installed. Oh no, reinstall charges. Those won't be counted. But they're going to base that off hardware. I have a lot of devices. If I buy a game, they're going to be paying like 5 times. So it's a sneaky fee, and it's really hard. It's really hard to quantify. I think from a business side, how much is this going to actually cost us per user? They don't truly know. If they let's see, Lomkey going to have to go to court. Their stocks is telling how they're doing. I'll see y'all later. Wanted to see what was it good. Huh? Hey man, thanks for stopping by. You have a good one, Illuminati. Stop by again. We have the streams every Wednesday, or you can come check me out and chat with me at twitch.tv. Not doing it tonight though. I am too tired. I know. I am a pansy. Let's see here. Unity stock. And then we're going to stop this. Thanks, man. So, it's 5% drop. That's not that bad. 5 days. 36. Nah, long term did not hurt them. They were already on a downward trend. We'll see, though. I definitely could see it going down further. We'll see more ramifications, but I think, I don't know. We'll see. I would not buy stock yet. I'd wait until it drops another 10, 20%. Maybe I'd buy some. I don't know. I don't think they're going to do well. Yuripa, a person who works there sold their stock before they announced this law. Yeah, no, the CEO did. The CEO did. Okay, guys. It has been good talking to you. This has been going on long enough. This has been a 2.5 hour stream, which is fine. Fine. A lot of stuff to talk about. A lot of juicy things. With that, you can check me out on Wednesday or Monday and Friday for sure on twitch.tv/th3brnk, where I play games and chat with you guys. Date night with the Brink is on Fridays, where I usually bring someone else in, typically Susie, and me and her chat with you guys while I play something simple. Yeah, it's really fun. I like chatting with you guys. Chris Lee, it says 37 days left. What does... Oh, the Ainyokan? Yeah. They like doing that type of stuff. But, 30... For me, 37 days isn't very long. Okay, have a good night, everyone. Yeah, and get back to work. I do need to get back to work. Good night, everyone. Peace out. Later, guys.